was almost like, well, his little brother got to be good. And then, which was a blessing, and I don't want to call it a curse, but a blessing, and it was difficult at the same time, stuttering, because there was an expectation.
Yeah.
And truth be told, as a freshman when we were at Bradwell Institute in South Georgia,
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to play no varsity. Bruh, I wasn't ready. But
Felt the tired, felt the fatigue, but they still did everything perfect. Had a much better finish to the end of the season because I saw that discipline play out throughout the entire game. That's my backstory. I think that's all I got.
yeah, that's all you got. Listen, we love ball.
I'm on my prime, I'm feeling like Steph. I get my shot and I promise it's wet. Waited too long, but I told him I'm next. I need my bag, just want me to check. Cable was mine, I ain't taking less. I told them all I'm as real as it gets. Shit be a shit, dog, I'm cutting the net. I thought I told him I came for my spot.
What up, fam? Welcome to I Stay Mad on Purpose. It's your boy, Stay Mad.
And I'm David Green. I'm mad, but I don't stay mad all the time. Most of
He
the
don't get it in him, stay mad. So listen, this is my little big brother. We just recently did another episode talking about his business. Now, we've been talking about doing this for a minute. We've been talking about doing a podcast, do something together, right? We've been around each other all our lives. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
Pretty
for
much.
the most part.
Not willingly, you know, but we've been talking about trying to do something business and all that stuff. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to keep doing my I Stay Mad on Purpose, but we're going to have a spinoff. We just don't have the name of it yet, but we've been toying around with some stuff, so they'll see it
I
eventually.
think we should ask people what they think the name should be.
Right.
Yeah. That's
So listen, as we get here, you know, we still got this, so like, comment, share, but also let us know what you think. You got two brothers. Here's a history. Former athletes, played football, was both pretty good at football.
Yeah.
Married. I've been married 21 years. You've been married, what, 9, 13?
9,
Something like that.
7, 8,
So,
9, 6, 7.
husbands, fathers, what'd you say?
6, 7.
You're so
What is
stupid.
it?
Husbands, fathers, we both holding our 9 to 5 still, and also pursuing the entrepreneurial dream. We got some goals and some things we've been working at, right? Nutshell, and that's pretty much what we can talk about a lot, about life in those different categories and different aspects of it. You're going to hear a lot of football analogies when our homeboys hates when we do football analogies, but I don't care. It makes sense.
It gets the point across.
It does. It makes sense. So I'm the one with a lot of energy. And this dude sometimes.
When I feel like it, I'll have more energy. But
So-
I mean, I'm laid back. I'm relaxed. I'm
When
chill.
I start. But real talk, man. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. And help us figure out a name. So right now, if we had to introduce us, we'd be like, welcome to the podcast that has no name. That's how we would.
No name.
No name podcast. All right, but listen, you're going to hear a lot of things when it comes to, I think, some of the core for us, right? We've been looking at life. We talk about a lot of call we do with a lot of guys, and we talk about life, and a lot of us have learned our work skills and everything else from playing ball. Like,
Yeah.
we just transfer that over.
Exactly.
More importantly, we started looking at how we actually pursued the game of football and how committed and disciplined we were, and we transferred that to our spiritual life. Because we was all in for football.
Yeah.
Like, hands down, right?
Yeah.
And we always start challenging each other, like, well, we ain't all in like that, but even
Yeah.
more in our aspect of pursuit, you know, with Christ. So,
But you know, we didn't do it right away.
No.
It really took some time to understand that it's there too. So like, you know, playing football, we saw the benefits as, you know, making the play, the big play during the game. You know, ultimately the dream was for everybody who's playing to get to the NFL. That's a dream. So you saw that as the ultimate goal. So you saw, you know, the work that I'm putting in, there's something I'm going to get out of it.
That we hope to get out of
you
it.
hope to get out of it. You didn't
And
see
then
that outside of that. Yeah.
so that's the crazy thing. It was slim chances to none
Yeah.
for making it to the league, but we still went all in hoping. Y'all, so a lot of what we talk about is in life, and especially as we talk about the spiritual aspect, the faith without works. Like, sometimes we do things hoping it works out.
Yeah.
But some people don't give a full effort because they just don't know if it will. Listen, you won't know until you know. So you might as well go all in, because how else will you know unless you try?
The only thing that's guaranteed is the answer is no. If you don't go, you don't give it your all. The answer is now. The challenge comes is when the answer becomes yes.
Yeah. So, y'all, we going to rock with this, man. We going to keep going. We're going to probably drop at least an episode a week.
Yeah.
So that means we got to be disciplined and consistent. He started having babies a little later in life. These my nephews, and then his daughter, my niece, she in college, like my daughter.
Got a nice little gap.
But his
Little
little
gap,
ones,
little gap.
the nephews, oh boy, y'all might see them on the show one day.
I'm sure the older one
We
would love
might
to be
bring
on.
them through.
He's
Both
very
of them. I want
charismatic.
I want Curtis to come through too.
I don't know. He's
He may not say nothing.
he might just brush us off. Like something he did to me today. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, how you doing? His sister told him. He's like, hey man, how you doing? He like just gave me one of these numbers. It just.
But no, don't get. That's communication.
No, yeah, but
What do you think he meant? I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I mean, he could have turned and looked at me. He didn't even look at me. It's like, bro.
That shows how good he is. That I don't
Yeah.
need you at this moment. When I
Pretty
need you,
much. which is usually like 3 a.m., 4 a.m.,
Yeah.
4:15,
That sound about right.
4:30, 5:15.
oh, kids, y'all know how that is. That sound about right.
So,
And
so
listen,
my eyes,
don't he look
they
tired?
open, right?
He like he was getting whooped these last couple of days. He looked like this all the time. But this is funny. This is why I want our podcast to be so broad, because we're gonna talk about everything. When I was having my kids and he was still single and everything, dog, come on out, man. You can't come hang with your brother, dog. No, I tell the truth.
Okay.
I ain't gonna embellish this
I
one.
did.
Oh, you can't be that tired. I'm like, dog, I'm tired, bro. Like, I've been working. This was when wife was a stay-at-home mom. I'm tired. And he's like, man, you can come out and hang out. I said, bro, once they go to sleep, dog, I got to go to sleep. No. So years later, he started having them. I think his first one. He texted me, called me out in the blue. Bruh, why y'all ain't tell me? Why we ain't tell you what?
They didn't tell me.
Come on, I ain't been asleep. I had no sympathy for him at all. I can care less. I don't care how much sleep he didn't get. I don't care at all. No sympathy. All of us started laughing. Me and my two sisters.
The craziest though, did I tell you the time I was hallucinating? This is when I only had one. I was so tired, I was literally hallucinating. I thought I was changing twins, like changing one side and switch to the other. I was so delirious. It was insane. I never thought I'd reach that point.
Well, I ain't never heard that. Share that one before. And guess
Real
what?
talk.
Still no sympathy. I care less. I want the nephews to get. Listen, I go over there with so much energy now that they want to talk to me. I get them riled up so much. I had the oldest one be laughing so hard at this cat one time. D Green back went out. We all over the place, but D Green back went
We're
out.
gonna get to the topic.
We gonna get to the top. We get
the
there, bro.
topic, man.
D Green back went out, and he was a walker. Mama Green took him a walker, whatever it was, something to help him be mobile. Boy, I had B dying laughing at this cat. He was slapping the knee and everything. And D Green over there, because he couldn't get him to move. What he gonna do? Chase me? No, he just was on the ground for like 7 hours. All right, yeah, we do got to get on the topic though. But
Yeah,
so
yeah,
but
get on topic.
this
this is what we're gonna do though. We gonna make some times sharing like real stories of life, how it is to be a husband, how it is to be a father, the challenges, the highs, the lows.
It's easy, man. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Highs and lows in every aspect of life. And I told him we better not spill this stuff on my wife rug. She'll get us. But even the entrepreneur stuff and even trying to hold down a job and pursue something that you feel like is your God given or something that you just can't shake. Like an idea shows up. I call it like the intrusive thought. Like God wrecks what you think is your life because he says idea or vision or whatever, and not what you thought was life. And how do you go back from that? It's almost impossible. So we're gonna be talking about a lot of that. But our first topic, this segment is what we talk about today.
Today we're talking about discipline is greater than talent.
Discipline over talent.
Yeah.
Right?
discipline over talent.
So a lot of our topics may come from a sport theme. We
Most
just
of
can't help it. Most of them. But when you see the sport theme, a lot of times it's so easy for us at least to connect the dots, make analogies, everything else, and relate it to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So our first thing we're talking about discipline over talent, and you hear a lot of coaches, you know, if you ever played any sports, you've been pursuing some type of activity, if you're not disciplined, if you're not consistent, hands down, you don't have a problem. Talent you got. But you have some really, really talented
Hey
people.
man, next time don't put no ice in my
You just want hot Sprite?
no. Make sure it's cold beforehand, because then it just made a weird noise on drinking.
Can't know about that.
See, this
At all. And then he was saying, mix something with the Sprite. So now we looking like we drinking some pink flamingos or something. It's Sprite and Welch's. Hey, Welch's and Sprite, y'all want to sponsor us? Go ahead and, we'll go ahead and take that sponsorship. Give us about 25K.
You know,
What?
we need to have some Purple Garden stuff. I'm a
Man, she got
micro
some good
investor
wraps.
in Purple Garden. So if you're ever out in the
That
Conyers
tuna
area,
wrap is crazy.
yes, yeah,
Conyers, Georgia.
yeah. If you're ever out there in the Conyers area,
Off of
Purple
138.
off 130.
Exit 82.
Look it up.
138, yeah.
That's it.
Go north. Them wraps is crazy. Purple Garden. So discipline over talent. You lead off. What we talking about? Let's go.
So I want to share a story, right? It's a coaching story. This is when I first realized this. I think I was in my maybe third, fourth year coaching high school football at my old high school, American High. Shout out to them.
AP, baby.
AP. So
Best high school in Dade County. I know y'all haters gonna say something.
right. So I'm running the defense at this time, D coordinator, and we had a really bad game. But I watched the film and I'm like, man, at the beginning of the game, everything was going great. What in the world? Towards the end of the game, coach, we start seeing the bad form and all that stuff. That's discipline, right? They had the talent. Talent was showing the beginning of the game. Towards the end of the game, we started lacking discipline. So I did a little test, and I started doing this the rest of the year. We ran hard sprints at the beginning of practice. And I don't mean just like, run a couple of sprints to loosen up. No, I meant tire them out to the point that they wanted to leave
Like
practice.
people normally did at the end of practice.
And like they normally did at the end of practice.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was the guys were already tired. They're worn out. But in their mind, it's the beginning of practice. So I'm going to do everything perfect because it's the beginning of practice. What ends up happening is it translated to the field that their memory felt the tired, felt the fatigue, but they still did everything perfect. Had a much better finish to the end of the season because I saw that discipline play out throughout the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
That's my backstory. I think that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all you got?
That's it.
Listen, we love ball too. So we live in Georgia now. Still feel like Florida got the best athletes. Georgia coming up because a lot of folks they moved.
People are living up here now, man.
Huh? I know a lot. That's what I'm going to say. A lot of us that moved up here, so the kids, the athletic talent is through the roof. I've been coaching up here for about 13 years with a local high school, and we have had some very talented guys coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, unfortunately, I love them, but some of them were the most disciplined. Mm-hmm. They were so beat down teams that they were just out athleticized them. I know that ain't no word, so what? But then when we played the teams that were disciplined and had athletes, you would see it. And it has been the story of, I would say, our life as a coaching staff, and even seeing some of the players that, and I love the direction the new coach got going with him. Not my homeboy, I love that cat. Very good. That's all he keeps talking about. This culture and discipline. And he has some very talented guys, right? But now you can see how important something as small as toes behind the line on the sideline where it should be. Mm-hmm. Because when you look at a championship team, a lot of times, like the ones that have been winning forever and a day, on their sideline, everybody's shoulder to shoulder across the field. Like, it's those little things. So we think about the talent versus discipline. Does that really matter? Y'all, the small things matter, even in life. We ain't just talking about this game of football. And yes, life is not a game not to be toyed with and played with, right? But as we consider how important it is to where, even if you're skilled and gifted at something that God gave you, you should still work on it. You can still develop that thing. You can get better and better. And the more disciplined you are, which I feel like being consistent in doing something and, just whatever it may be for whatever that skill set might be, you have to do something extra to it. Or there's going to be somebody else who's going to be like not as talented, but they are disciplined and they will surpass you.
I got a soundbite for you.
Do you?
So God will give you the gift, but it's your responsibility to steward it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Soundbite.
Hands down. He gives us things to manage.
Yep.
And another story, which is funny, how I even sophomore year down in Miami, right? With the American.
Yeah.
How I got my starting position was because I was a way more disciplined player than the person that was in front of me. Love my cat. It's like another big brother, Lorenzo Johnson. I said your whole name, brother. Your whole name. So if you watch this, your whole name. But he was messing up at safety. And I had never really played DB. I played wide receiver my freshman year out when we was in South Georgia. And then we came from Georgia to Carroll City, stayed there for about, I think that's springtime. That's okay. And I was DB at Carroll City because I did not want to play receiver because I don't like to get hit. Still don't like to get hit. I'd rather hit somebody, which is a problem. I don't condone violence. But I'll keep pointing down here because my brother put his little silly phone down here, so I should be pointing at y'all. So he messing up. And I'm watching. I'm just watching. Okay, don't do that. There's other people around me talking. I'm a sophomore. Nobody ever told me on the sideline be quiet. I knew I didn't like to be on the sideline.
Right.
So I'm not finna sit over there and run my mouth with people who ain't in the game. Because if y'all ain't in the game, then obviously whatever y'all doing, I ain't gonna do it over here. And whatever they do on the field, if they messing up, I'm not gonna do that either.
Yep.
That was my mindset from day one. I do not like sitting on the sideline. It may be selfish. I want to hear my name called. I want to be out there balling.
Right.
Well, he messed up one time. One of my favorite coaches, Coach Pete Quigley. Renzo! Get out! So he called me, come here, Green. I'm fresh. I don't know nothing. I don't know nobody on the team. Put me back at free safety. Francis Harding.
I don't think you ever left the field after that.
No,
man.
I did.
You never left the
But
field.
I'm going to go ahead and share the play, though. So
Yeah,
we going
yeah.
to share the ugly part, too.
Yeah.
Francis Harding. Last name is Harding, right? Number 6. Francis about 6'1", maybe? At least 6'1". Maybe,
No.
maybe 5'10". They embellished it when they put on cleats, 6'1".
Yeah, but he's a big guy though.
200
he was
plus
solid
at least.
200 plus. Yeah.
Had the Ray Lewis helmet, the face mask and everything, playing running back. So Quigg was like, come up, break down, make the tackle, nobody behind you. He gave me a quick 2-minute, this how you play safety.
Right.
Bet. I've been watching Lowe mess up, so I know what not to do. I love you, Lowe. Why did they run a dive or a draw, whatever it was, the Red Sea opened.
Yeah.
And I'm back there, and I ain't know no better. I ain't know who Francis was. I knew I don't want to be on the side. My thought, and people used to always say, LeVar, you ain't Ray Lewis. You can't run up on people like that. Well, your boy ran up full speed on Francis Harding. Bam! Held on, Francis fell. And in my head, I'm like, golly, I'm finna get on right back on the sideline. Everybody went crazy, like, bro, like, Queen, like, oh, that's how you get in there and do it. Meanwhile, before concussion protocol, I don't even remember how many concussions I had. I'm not joking, but I'm serious. I had plenty of them. He went down, and I never stepped on the field. Like,
is that when you got your nickname too, though?
pancake.
Pancake, yeah.
I like pancakes too, but he went down.
Yeah.
He went down, and then not knowing, most people ain't run up on Francis like that.
No.
So I ain't know no better. So they was like, dang, he ain't scared to run up on nobody. I shared it because, y'all, I really wasn't the most talented person. I was short, still short. Not knowing football in the NFL had like a height requirement, but we were still trying to get there. But I wasn't the most talented. I was good, but I was very disciplined.
Right.
Even though I still had a lot to grow, which I did. We'll get into all that stuff later. Attention to the small things. I was aware of where I was.
Yeah.
I knew what it took to like not mess up something.
That's me. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So I share that because that discipline, I was watching. I was doing what other people weren't doing, even though the coaches weren't watching me. I knew I have to be different than people around me. I have to make sure I'm locked in, even though somebody didn't necessarily tell me this. How do we equate that to life? Like D. Green said, God gives us a gift. So how disciplined are we going to be to actually nurture that thing? So if your gift is creativity, then put yourself around it. Saturate yourself in an environment that's going to do the best thing, like the most conducive to that, that's going to help it grow naturally.
Yeah. I got a question for you, though. So
Yeah.
you talked about your discipline, but you kind of mentioned it in the breath of your discipline, almost to sound like your discipline came because of what you wanted to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
But is that really where your discipline came from? Like, where did you get the discipline from? Or how did that work into
I think multiple areas. So I would say multiple areas as I slow down and really think about this one. Parents, of course, we had a couple uncles and cousins that really poured into us a lot, and they talked to us a lot.
Yeah.
I watch you. So one thing about D. Green had it really hard. Like he had to work really hard just to get a look, and then once he proved the name, our blood was almost like, well, his little brother got to be good. And then which was a blessing, and I don't want to call it a curse, but a blessing, and it was difficult at the same time, stuttering, because there was an expectation.
Yeah.
And truth be told, as a freshman when we were at Bradwell Institute in South Georgia,
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to play no varsity. Bruh, I wasn't ready. But we went through to get there, and I'm going to get back to answering that full discipline question. Like, I got an opportunity, and I wasn't even ready for it, but it was because of the name. We'll get into that for the namesake thing about God later, y'all, because, deep. But the discipline came from, I think, multiple sources, and it is an aspect of it, too, that what I wanted, I knew what I wanted, and I feel like that I knew I was still ignorant, had a lot to learn. I knew what I couldn't do to get there. Like, I knew what would, like, okay, it's easy for me to think negative, unfortunately.
Right.
I stay mad. I knew what could ruin the opportunity.
Right.
So my thought process, if I want to be successful, don't do that. It's easy. I may not know how to be successful, like say, here go your blueprint.
Right.
Destroy a situation. So just don't do that.
Yeah.
And it came easy for me.
Yeah. You know what I think about too? something that probably a lot of us take for granted, being military brats. So you talk about, really God providing the gifts, and we need to be stewards over. It's our responsibility to be stewards, but also the experiences that He grants us, right? Hey, we didn't come out as babies and say, I want to be military brats. That's something we were born into. And it didn't mean that every moment of our life was wrapped around discipline, but like we knew certain times when you had to straighten up. Like it was, and not even just from a discipline perspective, but just from a perspective of your surroundings. I mean, we were overseas during time. It was like there were certain times when, the school security would say, "Hey, go do this." You didn't play. It was a little bit different than in the U.S. at that time. And so I think that a lot of that was instilled in us, and we kept that going. I mean, I would say even like the little league coaches we had, they curse us out and all that kind of stuff, not to get into that, but they preach that discipline part of it, the discipline and playing the sport, running the same play 10,000 times and make sure you ran it at the right time, the one time you needed it to run it perfect. All those things played into it. And then I'll tell you the crossover into the business world. I remember the very first job I ever had, I think I told you guys in the podcast, the one I never really wanted, but my discipline, I was, it may sound small to say, hey, you're on time to work, but no, it was like, that was the requirement. I'm going to be 15 minutes early every day, every single day. My plan was to be 15 to 30 minutes early. Something did happen, I'm still on time, And I do remember even with that, like I had such discipline. There was one day I had caught a stomach virus or something, and I was supposed to get back there to teach a night school class, and I never made it back. And you would think in a lot of cases like that, people, the first instinct is, oh, they're AWOL, something like that, and they want to start procedures. These people were more concerned, calling, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? Like I don't know how many missed calls on my phone of various people calling to check on and see if I'm okay. And it was all because they saw the discipline. They saw the trend of discipline the entire time. David's going to be where he's supposed to be. He's going to get the things done that he has to get. It's going to be on time. It's going to be done correctly. Yeah. And just really just carried that through my entire career.
Right. I remember we had a coach in Ohio, Jim Tressel. You're late if you're on time. You're early, or you're on time if you're early.
No, you're on time.
Yeah, you're on time if you're early. You're late
if you're on time. Yeah.
So, never like being late. As a husband, Lord have mercy. I love your wife. Boy, wife will not be on time if we finna go somewhere. And then the household sometimes be like aggravated because I'm like, hey y'all, we got somewhere to be. I want to be on time, especially if it costs. Let's go. But that comes from a lot of that. The discipline you see in the parents, parents talking to us, right, sharing things. It just was important to be, and be there and then do what you're supposed to do. And as much as we humans cry about, Lord, we need this, we need that, sometimes we miss out on something that God says is going to be there, like a quarterback throwing to a receiver. A great quarterback is not throwing to the receiver. A great quarterback is throwing to the spot where the receiver is supposed to be to get the ball.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that way, by the turns or whatever the case may be, there's really no time for the defensive back to react because it's a spot thing. And if you don't get to the spot, you don't get the ball.
Yeah.
And if you don't get to the spot in life, a lot of times, like, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, do you have the capacity to be a millionaire? Right. And I heard Myron Golden say, it's easy to make your first million, but the hardest to believe you can. Right. Because to become the person, it's simple steps, but it ain't easy. Yeah. It's like it's the simplest thing, but the process is not easy because you have to do things so different than most other people. Reading books and educating yourself and sacrificing time when people are having fun, you are focused. Like, there are things that you have to do to become this person that can be that multimillionaire. So we all can say that, but are we ready to try to become the person? And we think about in the book of Genesis when God says, I created man in our image, like let them have dominion, right? Like let them become. Like you have to become the person, the being that God created you to be. Not like it's fine, cool, chill out. Everybody needs some employees. Okay, I'm down to hire you. You know, but everybody. The hardest fight to me is everybody fighting for that one job posting. Thousands and thousands of people applying for one job. But how many people really out there grinding for that area of entrepreneurship that God made you to own? Everybody ain't fighting for that. It's almost a smaller pool to fight for that because it's so much out there for everybody to eat. You know what I mean? But when you think about trying to be an employee, it ain't that grand.
It's not an easy space to live in, though.
It's not.
Entrepreneurship, it's not for the faint of heart.
No.
Very true. There are a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, and there's a lot of situations where you may have the talent, and you may be applying the discipline, and it doesn't seem to line up. So, talk to people in that aspect.
Okay. Because as soon as you start talking about it, some of the people I watch a lot of motivational videos. I listen to some of the business, the successful business stories, and I hear a lot of them say, I never want to be the smartest one in the room. So one of their key secrets to winning is surround yourself around some very intelligent people that are smarter than you, that can help you get to another level. Because if you are the smartest in the room, then your ceiling is you. You're not gonna go no higher than your own thoughts, abilities and knowledge. But if you're around people who think on a whole nother level, then now you literally, I just feel like it's almost like it just rubs off on you when you stay in those rooms. Yeah. So if I said I'm going to a swimming pool, I'm finna go swim, if you looked at me, then my whole body will be covered in water. But if I say, yeah, I went swimming, but I'm butt bone dry, and I said I just got out the pool, like, bruh.
You've been in Georgia a while saying that.
Butt bone dry?
Yeah,
sorry.
That's a Georgia thing.
It is?
Yeah.
No, whatever.
That's very country.
Yeah, you
that's
call it what you want. But the analogy makes sense.
It does.
I have no evidence of that.
Yeah.
But you'll have evidence of being saturating this area that you say you want to be. You know what I mean? So as you ask that, like, I ain't gonna lie, I just forgot how you asked the question. Hey, we thank you for watching, man. This is Activate You, owner of the company Activate You, my brother, owner of School Banks. So listen, we got this podcast we do. We got companies we running. Activate You is one of my personal companies that has the mission of I Stay Mad, where we say, hey, I promise to make a decision and make a difference in your life and everybody else's, and stay motivated and determined what I do, right? So that's where we're at on my.com. We have merchandise for you. If you need some shirts to kind of wake up and throw it on, go to the gym to remind you to stay motivated, determined, we got that. We also have digital products. Go check them out here again on our website. We got the Purpose Playbook. We got a questionnaire you can fill out to help you start to see where you should start going for your purpose. But we also have the ebook that you can check out, man. I feel like it's one of those things to where if you need that boost, if you need a compass just to point you in the right direction, this is great for you. I want to let my brother go ahead and give a quick shout out for his company too.
All right, very, very, very quick shout out. So School Banks, we are helping schools remain accountable, auditable, and removing all the friction between financial transactions with parents, students, and the school systems themselves.
Absolutely. So listen, like, share, and subscribe this channel, man. We appreciate the look. Trying to do some big things. We want to make sure we're creating and bringing value to you. And we have a spinoff coming, man. We got a podcast we're going to be doing with each other, and it's going to be coming out weekly. Help us figure out that name. So go ahead and drop in the comments what you think the name should be. Two brothers, we're husbands, we're fathers, we're right now employees, but are working for the entrepreneurial dream and goal, and former athletes that we look at life a lot of times the way we looked at on the field. So when we're on that gridiron, there's there that we transfer over to life. So check us out. We appreciate the love. I ain't gonna lie, my brother had to remind me of the question. So you got the talent, you got this discipline, and you're actually applying them, and it's not working out. And I don't like to hear it's not God's timing. I'm gonna be honest. It's God's timing. I feel like God is waiting on us. So there's something else. I hear a lot of people say, well, I've been praying. Well, pray some more. God probably wants more from you. Think about it. When we were lifting, we were trying to get to where we can bench 315. And we kept just coming up short. Then what do we do?
I was there, bro.
You were never always there.
I was there.
You had to get there.
Before you.
You were before
Way
me.
Before you.
But imagine hitting 310. And you like, golly. So what did they say? Most people, I've been working out. No, we didn't say that. We didn't pout and whine. No. We started working out hard to effectively get to the goal. I just want to say that real quick to share this with people. You've been praying. Well, I ain't seen no results. I've been praying. I've been reading. Ain't nothing happened. Well, read some more. Pray some more. You got to figure that out. You got to do more, because God may be requiring more from you depending on what the calling is, what the anointing is, what the assignment is. Everybody's not supposed to stay on the same level. Everybody can't do 315. Maybe lower than that because they just can't do anymore.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you don't try to keep getting better and better in that aspect. I think you got
Yeah. So one thing I think about too is if you're hitting your head against a wall, you have the talent, and you're applying the discipline. I think maybe you have to just readjust. You have to readjust your approach. You talk about the 315. So I'll be honest, it took me a minute to get from 305 to 315, but I still got there.
I only hit 315 once in my life.
I hit it many times, man.
Never
I
get it.
repped out with 315, man.
I was happy with that.
But here's the thing, though. It took me a long time to make that move. But I actually had to shift up. The discipline that I was applying that got me to 305 wouldn't 315. I had to shift some of the things that I was doing. I actually ended up doing more dumbbell reps than, working out on the bench. And then I had to start doing more resistance stuff. And I never really understood that the negative movements actually worked out well too. So, things that the push-pull, think of it from that perspective. All of those things work, all of the different muscle groups together. So, apply that situation. So yes, you're in the world of entrepreneurship. You're reading all the books. You are praying. You are studying the Bible. You are talented in that area. But it's just not working out. What I would actually encourage anybody to do is, what is the experience that you're going through? Not in a negative way. Don't look at it as like, oh, experience, but what are you gaining from that experience that you're going through? So for me personally, I spent a lot of time very good in my craft, very disciplined. Like I said, it's a guy show up to work on time, show up and, get the job done that I needed to get done. But there was where things were just very stagnant, very consistent. The shift happened when I stepped outside of my own comfort zone in that place, still applying my discipline, still, leveraging my gifts, but I stepped out of my comfort zone, did something a little different. Went to somebody and made a suggestion, on how to improve something. Simply looked at me and said, okay, well, show me. And that was outside of my comfort zone because, like I said, my discipline was, I'm going to do what you tell me. It's going to get it done. It's going to be on time. It's going to be right. But outside of my comfort zone was speaking up and saying, telling them something that maybe they implement. I don't know. I wasn't there long enough. But I saw a way to improve what was happening. They said, okay, show me. And I did that. Still applying the same gifts and discipline, but I just kind of had to refocus it. Right. Did that, things started changing.
So, and to me, to kind of solidify even more the question, there's a scripture in the Proverbs that says, it brings glory to God to hide a matter. It brings glory to the kings to search it out. Responsibility to search and hunt for our purpose and our life's assignment. It's our responsibility to, why aren't my prayers being answered? Y'all, you're supposed to get your hands dirty and figure this thing out. Like, you should not be passive about this thing. Yeah. You weren't passive to get to 315. Like, you had to do other things. There were other aspects, smaller money had to start working, that he needed to engage and grow so he could go 10 pounds up. Like, y'all, that's how important it is to understand the small things. That's how important it is to be disciplined. Like, listen, all of us, nobody has to teach us how to ruin our lives. Am I lying?
Default.
I think all of us right now, y'all, tell me, does somebody have to teach you how to ruin your life right now? Or can you go ahead and knock that out? No, you don't need no mentor. You don't need no coach. I bet all of us right now, if we needed to, if somebody said, I give you $500 million to ruin your life right now, easy, done. We can figure it out.
Yep.
If you want a successful, amazing, beautiful life, don't do the things that you know would ruin your life. I'm on the football field, and I know playing a cornerback, which is an outside position, one of the biggest things the coaches always say is don't lose
leverage.
Right. Don't let nobody outside of you. Don't lose contain.
I could have did that whole sentence because
right.
I already knew what you were going to say.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
That is the worst thing to do. Why? Because all of my help is on the inside. If I let somebody to the outside, I have now put the team in a bad position.
Right. Or some people say contain leverage.
Don't lose contain leverage. Right. Same thing. So if I know that's going to get me off the field, then guess what? Don't lose contain.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody behind you. Two big principles that as a DB, if you never let those two things happen, you'll probably never step off the field because you're not giving up the big play.
Big play.
Right? So for your life, y'all, we're not going to always make the big play, but we shouldn't be giving up the big play in our life, meaning missing the mark, because we know how to mess it up. So just don't do the things to mess it up. So all right, you've been disciplined, you got talent, you've been working it. What have you been doing that you know is not bringing a return on your investment?
Right.
Where are you spending time that you shouldn't be spending time?
Social media.
Right.
Yeah,
Scrolling, being out, spending money on things you shouldn't be spending on. You know what I mean? So it's like, I've been there.
We're on social media.
Yeah, that's right. Stay on here.
But don't scroll.
Okay?
That's the whole point. Stay focused.
Don't do that.
There's nothing wrong with social media. You got to stay focused.
That's
though,
that
you know?
doggone zombie
Yeah,
scroll.
yeah.
Don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
But y'all, it's gonna take a lot. God intentionally hid our purpose inside of us. But the great thing about that is He's also there. So I'm not saying this. I'm not saying just only go pursue purpose. Really saying this: pursue God, the Creator, who put you down here to have this amazing experience. And in the process of pursuing Him, He begins to, you get to see Him. You get to see the reflection of Him. And the beautiful thing about, guess who looks like Him? You do.
Man in the mirror.
You're made in His
Woman
image.
in the mirror.
You're made in His image. So as you're on that pursuit to truly know why you're on earth and why I'm here, and okay, I got this talent and I started being a little more disciplined, go after God like it's your next breath. Do it His way. I promise you, God is not going to leave you out because He wants His children to succeed. He put us in position where we're supposed to win.
Exactly.
We're supposed to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Life in this, all of the created universe is supposed to be listening to our beck and call. We're His children. So even with talent, y'all lock in with the talent and just put those things together. What's important to you? What do you really want in life? Like, sit down and think about that, because if you're all over the place, another scripture, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. My family coming in, so we're not going to edit neither. We're going to let them come in, and hopefully they don't be super, super loud. But, like, you can't even move forward in life if you just don't even know what you want to do. What if the Creator came and asked you right now, what do you want? And your answer is guaranteed. Do you know what you'll say yet? Like, this is the only opportunity you get to say everything you want. Do you know all of what you'll say? Because you got to be careful.
Solomon.
Right. I'm too late. I didn't ask for money. But you got to be careful because people say, Lord, I need strength for this. All right. So if we want to get strong in the weight room, what do we have to do? We have to add more.
Break down the muscles, man. Add more weight. Break down the muscles.
So when new problems show up in your life, guess who heard your prayer? Y'all, I know it sounds crazy.
You up.
But guess who heard your prayer? So it's really your perception. If we can start looking at all these problems as opportunities to grow, to get stronger, like this is the training ground that God uses, which is life. And when life gets to life at its best, you should be like, oh, bet God, that means you're trying to get me stronger.
Yeah, I told God I want to grow in trusting Him. That was something I was dealing with. I have more trust in what I can touch and control.
Mm-hmm.
I've been dealing with the situations that are forcing me
that
to
challenge your trust.
I have no other option.
Yeah.
I have to
Well,
trust.
you do. You have an option.
Yeah.
You could just flat out turn away from God and
I
say,
got
forget it,
discipline,
I'm going to do my way.
I got discipline. I'm disciplined.
Because a lot of people
Trust
turn
him.
away.
That's
Some
true.
people do turn away.
That's
You
true.
don't have to go follow God.
Yeah.
But what's the alternative, y'all? Like, and I know we get some hecklers in here, so please, by all means, your comments still help us out. Appreciate you. Go to comment right now. But it's like, y'all do it His way. Because the life that He wants you to live is so amazing. And in the process of you living this amazing, meaningful, purposeful life that's a blessing for you and your family, there are a lot of people that will benefit from you becoming the one who has the capacity to handle the very thing that He put in you, which is your talent, your gift, your skill, and ability. Pair that with that discipline. Man, your life is amazing. The only thing really restricting you is the commitment to God and your imagination.
That's it.
What can you see yourself doing? I saw myself, and this is funny because I didn't know I was doing this in college. Me and brothers talking about this. We watched a lot of film. We were disciplined. We did the stuff we was at practice. We did what the coach said. But I would daydream about football all day long. I would see the whole game. Yes, I was vain. I wanted my name called. I wanted to make all the plays. And I would just sit there for hours daydreaming about who we're going to play, daydreaming about my future. And y'all, surprisingly, because I didn't know the principle, but stuff would happen that I saw all through the week. And I'm in the game like, let me just go over here real quick because this is where the ball's going. And it looks crazy on film because Coach like, LeVar, why'd you go over there? Because I knew it was coming that way. You can't just keep doing it. I can and will.
His whole career.
I did my whole career. And then when I was done, I was like, dang, I feel like anybody could have made those plays because stuff came easy to me. You know, that is a principle in the Bible. People call it the law of attraction. Stuff is supposed to come to you. It's supposed to come to you. When you get your mind on the level of thinking, seeing, and believing, there's a scripture, y'all. We've been on for a minute, so we can wrap it up in a minute. Jesus says this in the Sermon on the Mount. He says, if a man look at a woman with lust in his eyes, he committed adultery. This is just by look and dwelling. Then he said, if you have been angry with a brother or sister, you have committed murder. It's good as done in the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And you're going to be penalized. If that be the case, that's the law and the principle. So you mean to tell me if I look and dwell, that's the lusting thing.
It is done.
And then the emotional part of if you've been angry because you feel that emotion.
Right.
So if I can feel what I'm also thinking, do you mean pair those two together? If I can start seeing what I want in the future and start to experience it in my mind, like smelling what the smell would be like getting the joy and all, then that principle for the penalty has to also work for the prosperity.
Exactly.
And I hope y'all, this God thing ain't no joke. Jesus knew what he was talking about.
Exactly.
So I hope we get that yes, I hope we all got a talent, gift, skill, and ability, because I believe we do. Everybody got a purpose. Everybody got an assignment. But I hope even more that you lock in with the discipline and lock in with the discipline towards your walk with God in addition to what you think you're doing.
You know the story it makes me think of in the Bible too. Sadducees and Pharisees and all that. They're like, hey, you can't be working on the Sabbath. And, and Jesus asked them, like, so which one is it easier for me to just say your sins are forgiven or for me to pick up your bed and walk, right? And I think about that because it is. It's like, okay, here's that negative side, here's that positive side. It works in both ways. So not only did he do both, he did both. just despite them,
right?
He did both. Because what could he have done? Could have said, oh yeah, sure, Sabbath day, Sabbath rules me, so I don't get to do anything on the Sabbath. Well, see, that was a misconception. God rules all of it.
And
Controlled for man, made for us. So he took advantage of it and said, yeah, even on this day, I'm gonna do something special.
Good works, man.
Yeah,
Good works.
Yeah.
So y'all, we appreciate y'all being on here, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Discipline over talent. Discipline wins all day long. You can be talented. There was a school in Miami, had some talented players every year. And it's our parents' alma mater, Northwestern Bulls. And they were so talented, but boy, when they went up against a disciplined team, boy, they got shellacked at times.
They're a lot better than now, though.
Yeah.
The discipline is there.
Yeah.
It is there.
But that's the thing. They were extremely talented. But for some years, they were extremely non-disciplined. Yeah. And it showed when they played a disciplined level.
Yes.
So, y'all, that's the facts of life. That's where it is. And we appreciate y'all chiming in, sitting here with us for a little while. Listen, don't forget, help us pick out the name. We got some ideas, but here again, you got two brothers. It's the older one. I'm the younger one by what?
Younger
how many months, Mama Green always say? 18, 22 months.
22. That's it.
We both husbands. We fathers. Holding down jobs. Chasing the entrepreneur dream. And so what you think? We got a lot of analogies to share from what we learned in the locker room to now, in the sports to now. Want to kind of hear y'all comments and y'all thoughts, man. But we love y'all, appreciate it, and thank you for watching. I Stay Mad on Purpose. We out.
That's it. Peace.
I'm on my prime, I'm feeling like Steph. Go get my shot and I promise it's wet. Waited too long, but I told him I'm next. I need my bag, just run me the check. Cable was mine, I ain't taking less. I told them all I'm as real as it gets. Champion shit, dog, I'm cutting the net. I thought I told him I came for my spot.